today we're going to be talking about how perception is everything. Hey guys, welcome back to That Spiritual Mindset, and you are with Krishwan. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about how perception is everything. Perception is everything. See, it comes down to the fact that, people worry about how they're going to get things done, and how do I get into a happier realm or a sad realm. And we see a lot of movies, okay? And when we see these movies, we think, okay, fine, I need this car to be happy, I need this house to be happy. But ideally, happiness is something that is something within the mind. And when you're getting this happiness within the mind, whatever you see, you can choose to just get the happiness out of it. Guess what? You're in a war zone. You can choose to just focus on the happiness and get the happiness for yourself. Ideally, if you don't fear death. Okay, but happiness, so the concept of this is perception is everything. The way you choose to perceive something, the way you choose to see something is the way your reality is going to be. Okay, so whether you're in a 1-bedroom apartment or you're in a 10-bedroom apartment with 13 bathrooms, it's not an apartment anymore, it's a house, it's a mansion. And if you're in a 13-bedroom mansion with like 15 bathrooms, and you can still be in a sense of, oh, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. You can still be focusing on the negatives when you're in such a huge state of abundance, and you can still be focusing on the negatives when you're in a very less state of abundance as well. The way you look at things, on the contrary, you can still be at a positive. You can be at a positive note when you're poor, and you can be at a positive note when you're rich. And all this comes down to perception. Even when we take two people and we go and see a movie in the theater, let's say me and my friend are sitting next to each other, we have different perceptions of the same movie, right? And let's say we see the movie and we have different perceptions of the same movie. Well, we both saw the same things on the screen, and we both felt the same. We both experienced the same movie on the screen. Then how did our perceptions become different? Because our perceptions come through our belief systems and our thought processes in our mind. So whatever the information is being given, it enters a belief system and thought process, and as it enters our predetermined belief system and thought process, we choose to see the same. So we are literally looking out for more of what is in our mind. As simple as that. So if we see something, and if we see a movie, and for me, for example, if my friend's experience of the movie was not great, but my experience of the movie was great, I liked it, he didn't like it, it's just that he chose to see those things, or when the data from the movie went into his head, it got filtered in a certain way where it went through his belief systems, it went through his way of thinking, it went through his way of analyzing what could be funny or what could be entertaining and what could not. And hence he made a decision of it based on his perception. And same for me, it went through all my belief systems and my way of judging a movie and my way of perceiving entertainment, and hence it was a perception that created my reality of the movie. I thought, wow, the movie is really nice. He thought maybe the movie is not nice, and that became our reality. And what happens is, even our perception and our beliefs, our perception, it makes us see what we want to see. And our perception is judged by our belief systems and our thought processes that are happening in our brain, and a lot of conditioning and different things. Just how we see it, how we see things to be. Not just that, our perception also brings in the reality that we want, because of the fact that when our perception is in a particular way, as in when things as and when the reality comes in, as and when the reality comes into our experience. Let's say I see a movie, and that movie is coming into my experience and it's getting filtered to my brain, and this thought processes, and I have a perception of the movie, and now I have a particular judgment of the movie. And if there's another movie that I'm going to be seeing, I'm going to be probably judging it in the same way as what my thought process and belief systems are. So my perception starts looking out for what it wants to see. You can understand that? Like, my perception looks out for what it wants to receive from the movie. There might be a comedy bit in the movie, and I would have been like, oh, that's not funny, but everybody else would have found it funny. It's just because my subconscious mind is not being trained to see that the way other people saw that, because of the fact that my perceptions of the movie were different. So perceptions like this of everything, even of life, literally determine your reality, literally determine whether you want to be happy or not, literally determine your mood and your regular day-to-day living, and hence it brings in the reality of that similar nature. If there's in a house, there are a lot of people fighting in a house, and you choose not to engage in that, and you choose to just focus on, let's say you're watching a comedy clip on your phone. You're watching Key and Peele on your phone. Okay, I like Key and Peele. Thank you, Key and Peele. Okay, so I'm watching Key and Peele on my phone, and I'm laughing at the clip that they make, because their clips are awesome. And and on the other end, there are two other people fighting in the house. My perception of what's going on is only the clip. My perception is not of what is happening in the house, but their perception is not of my clip. Their perception is of their fighting that is happening in the house. Their reality is such because their mindset is tuned to, like, hey, how do I start a drama? How do I get into, it's like you're unknowingly putting yourself, you're volunteering for that drama situation or that fighting situation, and then you get into that situation if your mindset and your belief systems are such. But if you choose to be like, hey, I don't need to experience that, I'm living this one life and right now, and I want to enjoy this life, and I don't want to put myself into situations like that. So you start to try to channel your thought processes and your energy, your focus towards things that benefit you, or maybe even fun things. For me, like the Key and Peele. Okay, so it just comes down to my perception of, like, how I want my reality to be, and it's actually a perception of how I choose to see reality, and that reality brings in thought processes that are happier, and those thought processes encourage this perception of reality even more and more and more, and thus it becomes my reality eventually. So a lot of people say, oh, I'm not happy, I'm depressed, I'm sad. It's what you choose to see. It's what you choose to see in front of you, in front of your eyes. It's what you choose to see and focus on. The bell is ringing, that just means, like, hey, it's an affirmation. It is what you choose to see in your reality. Your thought processes bring in your reality, but before that, even the perception of your reality that is being filtered to these thought processes and filtered and belief systems again reconfirms the reality that you want to have. So your perceptions are key. It's about what you choose to focus on, and when you choose to focus on something like that, something of whatever you want to do or what you choose to focus on, that keeps growing more and more and more and more. It becomes a part of your reality. In fact, it just becomes your reality after a while. So I'm going to wrap it up out here. Perception is almost everything. The way you choose to see things the way you choose to see life itself brings to you more of it. So you're choosing to just see the negatives, it's going to bring you more of the negatives. You're going to choose to see more of the positives, it's going to bring you more of the positives in any given situation. Because that's how energy works, and we are all energy. As simple as that. Alright guys, I'm going to wrap this up. Okay, once again, you're with That Spiritual Mindset, and you're with Krishwan. And if you like this video, like, subscribe, share, hit the bell notification, and check out my other videos as well. Bye.